When we are children, we seldom think of the future. This innocence leaves us free to enjoy ourselves as few adults can. The day we fret about the future is the day we leave our childhood behind. Patrick Rothfuss. I've been thinking about childhood lately, more specifically about boyhood, and how it's the most simple yet confusing time in a man's life. So many new and dynamic rules are laid right in front of you to follow, yet why you do so always seems out of reach. Why can't boys cry when I feel such emotion? Why shouldn't boys fight when my brother keeps saying he's stronger? Why do I feel I'm always chasing someone who just isn't there? It's weird. But what's weirder is that this thought didn't just occur to me one day. Instead, it was teased over the course of an 148 episode narrative through its two main protagonists, Gone Freaks and Killua Zoldyck. So please like and subscribe. Next goal we're trying to hit is 5,000 subs. And let's begin. The story of Hunter x Hunter is a lot, but in essence it follows Gon and Killua, two abnormally strong boys on their journey to become hunters, go on adventures, fight evil, and find Gon's long lost father. Standard shonen stuff. But as anyone who's watched the show would tell you, that's one of the worst descriptions to encapsulate the story of Hunter x Hunter, because though these two characters look and at times feel simple, they are anything but. Which brings me to my first point of boyhood in Hunter x Hunter. It's constant war. Killua and Gon love to fight, love to compete. In their minds, rough play is the best play and second place is the first to lose. The way these brothers fight in actual battles, you'd think they're competing for first to die too. It's crazy, but also is not. As a kid, I remember fighting over who got to become Red Ranger, who got control over the TV. There was a time, and this is no word of a lie now, where skipping, yes, with the rope, became a craze in my all-boys Catholic primary school. And instead of enjoying a nice robust exercise, guys started to challenge each other to see who could do the most doubles. To the point lunchtime morphed into the most barbaric gladiatorial hellscape, where young boys engaged in battles of who could do the most doubles with all glory, honor, and pride on the line. To the foreign eye, this may seem toxic, another offshoot of the damaging effects of the patriarchy. And if we men were to fan down the flames that have now just developed our ears, we would recognize that they're partially correct. There's always an element of toxicity here, that need to climb the hierarchy of dominance, which breeds bullies and jerks in every nook and cranny of this world. But when we look at Gon and Killua, it never goes there. Their fights to become better never goes to a place where they want to see the other crushed. Instead, what occurs is that they're more sure of themselves, more capable in their own abilities, and are able to make each other stronger. The importance of this cannot be overstated, because in Hunter x Hunter, there's always some new villain around the corner, a new battle where their skills will be put to the test, just like life. You see, fighting over remotes, taking the piss out of your boys, getting competitive whether through gaming, rough play, or sport, none of these are gonna make you superhuman. Sorry, no Super Saiyan 3, no Baryon mode, no quirks, none of that. But when done in a safe manner, what they will make you is more self-assured. Boyhood provides that time to develop confidence in yourself, confidence in your body, confidence in your words, that is then strengthened by the trivial tussles you and your boys get up to, in an environment where the biggest consequence is a timeout. But if you're Nigerian or African. So when we get older and those real tests occur, someone vehemently disagrees with your opinion at work and you have to back yourself and your thoughts, or a friend you meet for the first time lets off a joke that you know was disrespectful, and you got to respond. You have a wealth of experience to draw from due to those battles with your boys, so you can meet those tests in an appropriate and measured way. 2. Gon and Killua are constantly chasing or being chased by ideals of how men ought to be. With Killua, he's literally being chased by his older brother Illumi, but more damagingly, the idea of what his older brother represents, the perfect assassin slash Zoldyck, a cold-blooded killer who obeys and protects the family reputation without question. With Gon, he chases his father Ging, who in his mind represents the perfect hunter, free-spirited, ready to unburden himself of every chain for the sake of adventure. It's not hard to see that these aren't the best models for Gon and Killua to live by. One looks like this, the other unburdened himself of his literal son. And real life boyhood is quite similar. As a kid, you're constantly running away from the mold your parents, teachers, coaches, whoever push on you. This goody perfect child that obeys all the time, does perfect in school, and always ready to help out. And you're consistently running towards that cool, can do whatever he wants persona that's unburdened by homework, rules, etc. But in Hunter x Hunter, you see that Killua and Gon confront these proposed ideals head on. For Killua, it's a more literal shift, when he has to physically remove the mental programming which forced him to behave as the perfect Zoldyck. As he realizes there are things worth putting the family reputation on the line for. There are things worth dying for. For Gon, he faced his father, and after skipping over the whole going to get milk move King pulled on him, Gon verified in his mind that his dad was as cool as he thought he was. But the point still remains. Gon confronts the man and the idea he represented. Throughout Boyhood, you're gonna be presented with many ideals of how to be a man, and it's your job to interrogate them properly. And it may not be as simple as this good, this bad. Though the assassin training Killua went through was straight torture, it's those same skills and experiences that kept him and his friends alive till this day. And though I don't see Gon abandoning his own son like King did, but who knows what a kid is weird as him, it's clear that that sense of wonder and adventure in Gon was at least partially inspired by King. Oftentimes things aren't black and white, this good, this bad, but it's on you to pick the best parts of each of the models, the ones forced on you and the ones you long after, to develop the idea of the man you actually want to be. And finally, why can't boys cry when I feel such emotion? Gon and Killua's change of emotional states in this series is some of the best encapsulations of childhood I've ever seen. We all know Gon's. I mean, this brother went to town with it, and much has been said about it. He's a sociopath, he has no morals, he's the truest reflection of a shonen character, and I'm sure all of these are true. But in my opinion, Gon is just a kid. Just a boy. As young boys, most of us have eaten our siblings' food with no remorse, then cried the house down when they did the same. We walked past homeless people thinking, why are they so stupid to want to sleep outside? We've been selfish and hurtful because that is what a child is. They don't often have the capacity to hold space for another person that's not in their immediate family. And even then it's a bit, And usually they have to learn empathy and seeing things from another person's point of view as they grow older. And even then it's a bit, That's why in my belief Gon's anger was so potent, so explosive, because while everyone else can sort of understand that the fight against the ants isn't a battle between good and evil, but a war for which species gets a right to exist and therefore the rules are kill or be killed, so much so that even Netero's final words to Meron were an acknowledgement to how similarly guilty they both are. Gon cannot make that distinction. All he knows is that Pitu killed his friend, and she alone was gonna pay. Killua's change in mental state is completely different though, and personally my favorite. He goes from stoic and guarded, his interest only piqued by the rare occurrence of something actually looking fun, to someone who loves so genuinely, so completely that every aspect of you is seen by him. Even the aspects he doesn't like, Killua learns to love all of you. And there's no better example of this than with Alaka, where Killua has a chance to completely seal away this foreign entity, something that has possessed his younger sister's body, and he succeeds in doing so, but reverses that decision at the request of his younger sister who sees something as a part of herself, and therefore Killua does too, now seeing something and his sister as one. Powerful changes of emotions are normal for kids, and young boys often get labeled as troublesome, violent, restless when these changes occur. I know there's some crazy lads out there, and in the words of Dr. Umar, some of them going to sleep for God! But it's important for young boys to get that support when dealing with these big emotions through a combination of physical and communicative means, so they're able to undergo these feelings through less destructive methods and can handle future change in a way where everyone feels seen and respected. That's all I got from Hunter x Hunter. But please comment down below any interesting thoughts or ideas that the show has brought to you. And please don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.